often I think we're like in college and school, and we have these dreams and these goals, and then you get out of school, and the reality of life kind of slaps us in the face. Maybe it didn't happen to you, but it happened to me at some point when I went, oh buddy, I have, started out as rent to pay and a mortgage to pay, and it became like, I gotta get out there and hustle and make some dough just to do that. I know I have these dreams, but I gotta do this first because the end of the month is coming. That's very real for all of us. And what tends to happen so much is over time, most of our money, or most of our resources, which is not just your money but your time, goes into just getting to the end of the month, and you're exhausted and you're wore out, and then it's like somebody in church or somewhere says something about like, you can do great things for God, and after a while it just kind of gets to be like meh, meh, meh.
And meanwhile you're not being the spouse you want to be because you're overworked, or you're not being the child you want to be, you're not being the friend you want to be, you're not being the minister you want to be. I mean, choose your role. It's just like making money becomes like top priority, and you don't even know why.
Yeah, it just happens, and it's not. If that's happening to you, realize that's normal. That is normal. That's we all deal with it on some level, but it's just normal. And then we fall into these mindsets of, man, if I just had $1 million, or if I won the lottery, then I could live my dreams, or I could do that. Something that we're in the middle of learning this. We've been challenged recently that when you actually sit down and you ask yourself some hard questions, and you say, what do I really want? What do I really want out of life? What do I want spiritually? What do I want for my family? And you define some of those things, you can actually look at that, and when you really add it up, a lot of times it doesn't take a lot of money. It doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot of money to reach that lifestyle. I don't know if that's the best word.
Yeah, I think it is. But
sustain that lifestyle.
Like I wrote out my vision, and the top thing on my vision is spiritual. I want to be a spiritual person. And I said, what does that mean? Well, it means having a daily quiet time and devotional time, and having worship, and praying for people that I love, like Brianne and my daughters, and just building a relationship with God. And then you go, how much money does that take? Oh, about, I don't know, I buy a journal every 2 months. That's $20 every 2 months, and I could just write it on my computer too, So it doesn't take any money, really.
Which then that would take like $2,000, but
yeah.
Like, not just talking about like what's the life you want to live, what's the vision you have, but like really believing that God gives us vision. He gives us direction. It's not just about like, do you want to have the house on the lake and whatever, but it's like what does God put in your heart that you're kind of silencing, that you feel like it's supposed to be part of your life, but you're not making time for it because it's all about the Benjamins.
The most powerful thing to me is that the very first step before you even go to like the money thing is really just sitting down and saying, what's my vision, or what's my dream, and defining that, and then fitting your money, where you spend your money, how you budget your money around, for me, one of my top things is spiritual, and so I put it in my budget that I give to the church, and I tithe, and that supports who I want to be.
So maybe anyway. The question, how is your vision being lived out, and how you spend your money?